Growth begins where comfort ends. That simple truth has the power to transform your life if you are willing to embrace it. Most people stay trapped in the bubble of what feels safe, what feels familiar, what feels easy. They build routines around avoiding discomfort, and in doing so, they build walls around their own potential. Real growth never happens in the land of comfort. Comfort maintains who you are, but discomfort forces you to evolve. Think about it. Every skill you have today, every strength you carry, once came from a place of struggle. Walking as a child was uncomfortable. Learning to read was uncomfortable. Pushing through your first heartbreak, your first failure, your first rejection. None of that felt good in the moment, but each one expanded your limits. If you had stayed only with what was easy, you wouldn't be where you are right now. The same principle applies for the rest of your life. Growth is not found in repeating what you already know. It is discovered in doing what stretches you, scares you, and sometimes even breaks you. Comfort is seductive because it offers short-term relief. It tells you, stay here, you don't need to push anymore. And in that moment, giving in feels good. But what it doesn't tell you is that the longer you remain comfortable, the weaker you become. Muscles shrink when they are not used. The mind softens when it is not challenged. The soul becomes restless when it is not tested. Comfort robs you slowly, and you won't notice the damage until it's too late. That's why stepping into discomfort is not optional if you want to grow. It's necessary. The edge of comfort is where life truly begins. Running the extra mile when your legs want to stop. Speaking up when your voice shakes. Taking risks when failure feels inevitable. That edge is where you meet the strongest version of yourself. You don't discover resilience by reading about it. You discover it by surviving the storms that feel unbearable. You don't uncover courage by wishing for it. You uncover it by walking into the fire that terrifies you. Every time you leave comfort behind, you are planting seeds of growth. Those seeds may not bloom immediately, but they build roots inside of you. Over time, you realize that what once scared you is now your normal, and that becomes your new baseline. Then you push further again. Growth is a cycle of discomfort that elevates you to levels you never imagined you could reach. So if you truly want to grow, stop searching for the easy path. Seek the path that challenges you. Chase the things that make you hesitate, because hesitation is a sign that growth is waiting on the other side. Remember, this comfort is the enemy of progress, but discomfort is the birthplace of greatness. Growth begins where comfort ends, and that's exactly where you need to go. Doing what sucks builds resilience and mental toughness. At first glance, this idea sounds harsh. Why would anyone willingly put themselves through something they dislike, something uncomfortable, or something that feels miserable? But the truth is, resilience isn't built in comfort. It's built in challenge. Mental toughness isn't gifted. It's forged in the fire of hardship, repetition, and struggle. When you deliberately choose to do the things that suck, you are training your mind to handle pressure, endure pain, and keep moving forward no matter the circumstances. Every time you face a task that makes you want to quit, you're entering a battleground between weakness and strength. Most people surrender to the voice in their head that says, "This is too hard, stop now." But when you ignore that voice and continue anyway, you are rewriting the script of your mind. You're teaching yourself that you are capable of enduring far more than you believed. That lesson becomes a layer of toughness. And every time you repeat it, the layers stack, forming resilience that no one can take away from you. Mental toughness is not about never feeling tired, never feeling afraid, or never wanting to quit. It's about feeling all of those things and still choosing to keep going. Doing what sucks is a daily practice of refusing to give weakness control. Maybe it's waking up before dawn when you'd rather sleep, or running in the rain when everyone else stays inside, or pushing through the last set at the gym when your muscles are screaming. None of those moments feel pleasant, but each one is a brick in the wall of toughness you're building. Resilience is more than just surviving difficult tasks. It's about thriving in them. When you consistently put yourself in uncomfortable situations, you stop being surprised by adversity. Instead of panicking when things get hard, you become calm. You've trained your mind to know, I've been here before and I can handle this. That confidence becomes unshakable. Life will throw obstacles at you, failure, loss, rejection, setbacks. But if you've built resilience by doing what sucks, those obstacles won't break you. They may slow you down, but they won't stop you. The truth is, every act of deliberate discomfort is a deposit into your mental toughness bank. On the days you don't want to work but do it anyway, you're making a deposit. On the days you want to quit halfway but finish, you're making a deposit. Over time, that account grows so strong that when life demands everything from you, you have the reserves to push through. So doing what sucks is not about punishment. It's about preparation. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't fold under pressure, who doesn't crumble when life gets heavy. Every miserable, uncomfortable, painful task you take on is shaping you into someone resilient, someone unbreakable, someone who thrives where others give up. That's the real reward of doing what sucks. Avoiding pain trains the habit of quitting. It might not seem obvious at first, but every time you back away from something difficult, every time you choose the easy road, you're reinforcing a pattern inside your mind. That pattern says, when things get uncomfortable, I stop. The more often you do it, the stronger that pattern becomes. Quitting isn't usually one big decision. It's a series of small choices made over time, a quiet surrender that turns into a lifestyle. And before you know it, the habit of quitting defines who you are. Pain, struggle, and hardship are not just obstacles. They are opportunities to strengthen your character. But if you avoid them, you rob yourself of that chance. Think of your mind like a muscle. If you never put weight on it, it never grows. Avoiding pain is like refusing to lift the barbell. It feels easier in the moment, but it guarantees you'll stay weak. And weakness doesn't stay contained to one area of life. If you train yourself to quit during a workout, that mindset seeps into your job, your relationships, your dreams. Quitting becomes your default. On the other hand, when you push through pain, even in small doses, you're building the opposite habit. You're teaching your mind that discomfort doesn't mean stop, it means grow. Every time you endure, you're rewriting your internal programming. Instead of seeing pain as a signal to quit, you start seeing it as proof that you're on the right path. Pain becomes a teacher instead of an enemy. Avoiding pain is seductive because it feels safe. You tell yourself, I'll try again tomorrow, or this isn't worth it right now. But those excuses stack up. Tomorrow becomes next week becomes next year, and eventually you're left with regret instead of results. The things you dreamed of achieving slip away, not because you weren't capable, but because you avoided the short-term pain required to reach them. The truth is, life will bring pain whether you choose it or not. Challenges will come, losses will hit, failures will happen. You can't avoid that. But if you've built a habit of quitting every time things hurt, then when life truly tests you, you'll collapse. That's why doing what sucks is so powerful. It's not about chasing misery for its own sake. It's about training yourself to endure, to resist the urge to quit when it matters most. If you stop avoiding pain and instead lean into it, you break the cycle. You replace the habit of quitting with the habit of persistence. Each time you stay in the fight a little longer, each time you refuse to back down, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you thought. Over time, that persistence becomes who you are. And when quitting is no longer an option, success becomes inevitable. Facing challenges strengthens discipline and willpower. Discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you build, and the way you build it is by taking on challenges that demand more from you than you want to give. Every challenge is a test, and each test you face is an opportunity to grow stronger. The more you confront and overcome, the more discipline becomes part of your character, and the more your willpower hardens into an unshakable force. Challenges strip away excuses. When you're up against something hard, you don't have room for maybe later, or I don't feel like it. You either step up or step back. Choosing to step up, even when you don't feel ready, is the moment discipline is born. Discipline is the act of showing up regardless of your mood, your energy, or your comfort level. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. It stops being something you fight with and starts being part of your identity. Willpower, on the other hand, is the muscle that carries you through the storm. It's what keeps you moving forward when the challenge seems too big, when your body screams to stop, and when your mind tells you it's pointless. Facing challenges is the gym where willpower is trained. Just as lifting heavy weights tears down muscles, so they grow back stronger. Pushing through challenges stretches your willpower until it becomes unbreakable. Avoiding challenges keeps you weak. If you only take the easy road, you never give yourself a chance to build the mental toughness required to chase big goals. Easy choices create a soft life, but difficult choices create a strong one. Every time you face something uncomfortable, a tough workout, a high-pressure situation, a personal setback, you're depositing strength into your mental bank. And when the biggest tests of life arrive, you'll be able to withdraw from that bank without hesitation. The beauty of facing challenges is that it doesn't just prepare you for the one in front of you. Each challenge you overcome makes the next one easier to face. It compounds. You develop confidence not because you believe life will get easier, but because you know you are strong enough to handle whatever comes. That confidence is priceless. It changes the way you carry yourself, the way you think, and the way you pursue your goals. Discipline and willpower aren't built in comfort. They are built in resistance. The challenge is the forge, and you are the metal. The heat, the pressure, the struggle, it all works together to shape you into something stronger. That's why you should not run from challenges, but face them head on. Every obstacle you tackle is sharpening your discipline and strengthening your willpower, turning you into someone who doesn't just survive adversity, but thrives in it. Struggle is not punishment. It is opportunity. Too many people see struggle as life being unfair, as if hardship is a curse meant to hold them back. They look at difficulty and say, "Why me?" But the truth is, struggle is not there to punish you. It's there to prepare you. Every struggle you face is an invitation to grow, to sharpen your character, and to discover strength you didn't know you had. It's not a dead end. It's a doorway to the next version of yourself. Think about it. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history, in business, in sports, in personal lives, none of them came from comfort. They came from struggle. The athlete who pushes through endless training, the entrepreneur who fights through failure after failure, the person who rebuilds their life after loss, all of them turn struggle into an opportunity to rise. If struggle were punishment, no one would come out stronger. But countless people do. And that's proof that it can be the making of you rather than the breaking of you. When you struggle, you are forced to dig deep. You're stripped of your excuses and confronted with who you really are. That process is uncomfortable, but it is also pure. It shows you whether your commitment is real, whether your dreams are worth fighting for, and whether you have the resilience to continue. Struggle tests you, but it also teaches you. It shows you that the limits you thought were fixed are actually flexible, and that what you once thought impossible is within reach if you endure long enough. Many people waste their struggles by resisting them. They complain, they retreat, they look for shortcuts. In doing so, they miss the gift inside the hardship. Struggle is the classroom where growth takes place. Pain is the teacher, and endurance is the lesson. If you lean into it, if you accept it as part of the journey, you start to see it differently. It stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like progress. Opportunity often comes disguised as struggle because growth doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It comes wrapped in sweat, in long nights, in tears, in setbacks. When you recognize this truth, you stop running from hardship and start seeking the lessons within it. You begin to ask not why me, but what can this teach me? That shift in perspective turns every obstacle into a stepping stone. Struggle will never feel easy. It will hurt. It will drain you. It will test your patience. But if you keep moving, if you refuse to let it break you, it will also build you. It will give you wisdom, strength, and resilience that no comfort zone could ever provide. Struggle is not life punishing you. It is life handing you the exact tools you need to become who you're meant to be. Proof of endurance becomes your foundation for confidence. Real confidence doesn't come from words of encouragement, motivational quotes, or false bravado. It comes from lived experience. When you endure difficult things, when you survive the moments that nearly break you, you create undeniable proof for yourself. That proof becomes a permanent record in your mind that says, I've been here before, I've struggled before, I've suffered before, and I made it through. That knowledge is the strongest foundation for true confidence. because it cannot be shaken by doubt or fear. Confidence built on comfort is fragile. It disappears the moment life gets tough, because deep down you know you haven't been tested. But confidence built on endurance is unshakable. When you've run through exhaustion, pushed past failure, stood tall in rejection, or gritted your teeth through pain, you no longer just believe you can handle challenges. You know you can. That knowledge is a weapon you carry into every arena of life. Endurance is like writing a story of proof. Each chapter you complete becomes a reference point you can look back on when things get hard again. Maybe you remember the time you pushed through a grueling workout, or the time you kept showing up to work after a setback, or the time you kept fighting when life knocked you down. Those memories are not just stories. They are evidence. They tell your mind, I don't quit, I don't fold, I don't give up. And that evidence silences doubt faster than any pep talk ever could. This is why doing what sucks is so valuable. Each time you willingly endure discomfort, you're building a library of proof that you can draw strength from later. You're stacking victories, even small ones, and those victories accumulate into confidence. You don't need validation from anyone else because you've validated yourself through action. You've seen what you're capable of, and no one can take that away. Confidence rooted in endurance also frees you from fear of the unknown. Life will always bring uncertainty, but when you've proven to yourself that you can withstand pain, failure, and hardship, you stop fearing what might come. Instead, you trust your ability to handle it when it does. That trust is the essence of confidence. It's not about knowing what will happen. It's about knowing you will be strong enough no matter what happens. So understand this: every hard thing you complete is not just a win in the moment. It's an investment in your confidence. Endurance writes the proof, and proof builds the foundation. The more proof you stack, the more unshakable you become. And when the next storm arrives, you won't hesitate. You'll stand tall because you've already proven to yourself that you can. Comfort whispers excuses, but greatness lives in discomfort. Comfort has a soft voice that tells you everything you want to hear. Take it easy. You've done enough. You can try again tomorrow. You deserve a break. And it feels good to listen to it because comfort offers immediate relief. But what comfort never tells you is that every time you listen, you're stepping further away from your potential. The path of comfort is paved with excuses, and excuses build a cage that keeps you from becoming who you're meant to be. Greatness, on the other hand, doesn't come dressed in ease. It shows up in sweat, in doubt, in fatigue, in sacrifice. It shows up in the moments when your body says stop, but your spirit says keep going. Discomfort is where breakthroughs happen, because that's where growth is forced. You don't grow by repeating what's easy. You grow by pushing through what's hard. Greatness doesn't live in the cozy warmth of excuses. It lives in the cold, hard reality of discomfort. When you chase comfort, you're really choosing stagnation. You might feel good in the moment, but nothing changes. You stay the same. You protect yourself from struggle, but you also protect yourself from progress. It's like sitting in warm water. You could stay there forever, but you'll never move forward. Discomfort, however, is motion. It may sting, it may feel unbearable at times, but it pushes you forward toward a stronger, sharper version of yourself. Excuses will always sound reasonable in your head. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I'll do it later. But those words are comfort trying to sell you a lie. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. There will never be an ideal moment when everything feels easy. If you wait for that, you'll be waiting your whole life. Greatness belongs to the ones who stop listening to excuses and start embracing discomfort, who understand that the pain of discipline is far lighter than the pain of regret. Every time you choose discomfort over excuses, you take another step closer to greatness. Whether it's waking up early to train, speaking up when fear grips your throat, or grinding through the work when you'd rather rest, these are the moments that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Each decision to lean into discomfort strengthens your character, your discipline, and your willpower. Greatness has never been about luck or talent alone. It's about consistently doing the hard things most people avoid. It's about choosing the path that sucks in the moment but pays off in the long run. So when comfort whispers its sweet lies, don't listen. Remind yourself that excuses may feel good now, but they will steal your future. Discomfort may hurt now, but it will give you everything you dream of. Greatness doesn't live in comfort. It lives in the fire of discomfort. And that's where you need to go if you truly want to rise. Breakthroughs happen in the moments you want to quit. That instant when your body is screaming, your mind is begging for relief, and everything inside you says, stop, you can't go any further, is the exact moment you're standing on the edge of a breakthrough. Most people never reach that point because they quit too early. They stop when it hurts, when it's inconvenient, or when it gets uncomfortable. But those who hold on just a little longer, who push past the voice telling them to quit, discover something powerful. There's always more inside them than they thought. Quitting is easy because it feels like protection. It saves you from pain in the short term, but it also robs you of progress. The wall you hit isn't the end of your strength. It's the beginning of it. That wall is your mind trying to protect you, but it's also the barrier that separates your current self from your stronger self. Breakthroughs don't happen before the wall. They happen when you climb over it. Think about the times in your life when you accomplished something you once thought was impossible. Almost always, it came after you felt like quitting. Whether it was surviving a tough exam, getting through heartbreak, grinding through a grueling workout, or pushing past a failure, the breakthrough came not because things were easy, but because you refused to give up when you wanted to. That refusal is where growth is born. Breakthroughs aren't loud, flashy moments. Sometimes they're small, quiet victories. Running one more mile, writing one more page, making one more call, holding on one more day. But those small victories compound. Each one chips away at your doubts and builds your confidence. They add up to life-changing transformations, and they all begin in that painful moment when quitting feels like the only option. The truth is, most people never see their breakthrough because they stop too soon. They let the discomfort convince them that they've reached their limit, when in reality their limit is far beyond where they quit. Your body and mind are capable of enduring far more than you believe. The only way to find out how much more is to keep going when you feel like you can't. That's why doing what sucks is so important. It constantly brings you to those quitting moments. And every time you refuse to stop, you experience a breakthrough. Maybe not instantly, but eventually. You come out stronger, tougher, and more resilient than before. And once you've broken through once, you know you can do it again. So the next time you feel like quitting, recognize it for what it is. Not a sign to stop, but a sign that you're close. That burning, that fatigue, that frustration. It means you're on the edge of something greater. Push a little harder, hold on a little longer, and you'll discover the breakthroughs that most people never see. Embracing the suck separates you from the rest. Most people live their lives avoiding discomfort, running from pain, and settling for what feels easy. They don't want to sweat, struggle, or sacrifice because those things feel unpleasant in the moment. But here's the reality: the majority will always choose the path of least resistance. That's why the few who are willing to face what sucks, who lean into the pain, the grind, the struggle, rise above the crowd. They separate themselves by doing what others won't. When you embrace the suck, you're no longer competing on the same level as everyone else. While others are stopping at good enough, you're pushing for more. While others are retreating to comfort, you're building strength in discomfort. That willingness to endure hardship is what makes you uncommon. It creates an edge, a toughness, a mindset that most people will never develop because they never step outside their bubble of ease. The truth is, life is hard for everyone. The difference lies in how you respond. Some people run from difficulty and stay stuck, while others run toward it and transform. When you choose to embrace the suck, you show the world, and more importantly yourself, that you're not like the rest. You're willing to do what it takes, no matter how it feels. That choice alone already places you in rare company. Separating yourself isn't about talent, luck, or even resources. It's about your tolerance for struggle. People often look at successful individuals and think they must have had some special advantage. But more often than not, their advantage was simply their willingness to suffer longer than everyone else. They trained harder, failed more, got back up more times, and kept going when others tapped out. They embraced the suck, and that's what set them apart. What makes this so powerful is that it's available to anyone. You don't need extraordinary gifts to embrace hardship. You just need the courage to stop avoiding it. The moment you decide to welcome the suck instead of running from it, you're already different. You're already in the minority. And that decision begins to compound because the more you embrace discomfort, the stronger and more capable you become, while others fall further behind. Separating yourself isn't about being better than others. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday. It's about refusing to let comfort keep you ordinary. Every miserable run, every painful rep, every sleepless night spent grinding, it all becomes proof that you are willing to go where most won't. That willingness will always set you apart. So don't fear the suck. Embrace it. Welcome it as the price of distinction. Understand that it is not a punishment, but a privilege, because every time you lean into it, you're carving out a space for yourself above the rest. And in a world where most choose easy, you'll be one of the rare few who chose hard, and that choice will make all the difference. Consistently doing what sucks makes you unbreakable. Strength doesn't come from a single act of toughness. It comes from repetition, from showing up day after day, from choosing the hard path over and over again until it becomes your nature. The real transformation isn't in one moment of courage. It's in the discipline of facing discomfort so many times that pain no longer controls you. Fear no longer dictates your choices, and quitting is no longer an option. That's when you become unbreakable. Doing what sucks once proves something to yourself. Doing it twice builds confidence, but doing it consistently rewires your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who might rise to the challenge and start seeing yourself as someone who always does. That shift is powerful. It means when life throws chaos, when obstacles pile up, when adversity strikes, you don't crumble. You don't panic. You've trained for it. You've lived in the storm long enough to know you can survive it. Unbreakable doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It doesn't mean you never get tired or frustrated. It means no matter how much pain comes, no matter how tired you get, you keep moving forward. It means nothing can stop your progress. Not fear, not failure, not doubt, not even the voices inside your own head. Consistency in doing the hard things teaches you that struggle is not a signal to stop. It's a signal that you're in the right place, doing exactly what will make you stronger. Most people fold under pressure because they never built the habit of enduring discomfort. But when you've trained yourself to lean into it every single day, you become different. You become rare. While others break under the weight of challenge, you carry it with pride because you've carried it before. You've built a track record of survival, and that track record makes you unshakable. This is why the choice to do what sucks matters so much. It's not just about the workout, the long hours, the sacrifices, or the pain in the moment. It's about the person you're becoming through the repetition. You're becoming someone who doesn't run from life's storms, but stands in the middle of them, unflinching. You're becoming someone who refuses to be broken, no matter what life takes away or throws in your path. So, when you feel the resistance, when you feel the pain, when you hear the voice telling you to quit, lean in. Keep going. Remind yourself that every step into discomfort is another brick in the foundation of your unbreakable self. One day, when the world expects you to collapse, you'll stand tall, not because it was easy, but because you built yourself through the hard, the ugly, the painful, the things that sucked. That's the message. Greatness is not found in comfort. Strength is not built in ease. Resilience is not born from shortcuts. You become unbreakable by doing what sucks, not once, not sometimes, but consistently until it becomes who you are. And when that happens, nothing in this world will ever have the power to stop you.